Hey everybody, welcome back. In this episode, we are going to go over the logic of how to do a delete request in Express. So we'll be writing the logic to manually remove the item from the database that the user is requesting. And if you guessed it, yes, they're going to be sending us the ID. And that is what we're going to use to find the item and remove it. Okay, so a few ways to handle this if we're just, kind of writing this ourselves, which we are. But this is the way that we'll use it. We will set up a route called movierouter.delete, and it needs to know which one to delete. Now, the easiest way to identify something in a database is the ID, so I'll use a parameter and say expect a : movie ID. Remember, this will work just fine. Even though we have that same endpoint up here, the fact that this is for gets and this is for deletes, they won't conflict at all. Okay. So first, just for clarity, let's get the movie ID and store it in a variable. So movie ID is from rec.params.movieid. And now we're going to use splice. And now we're going to use splice to remove that from the movies array. It's an array method you can use to mutate an array in place. So we're going to use that. But in order to use it, we need the index number of the movie that has this ID. So in this next line, we'll grab a movie index. That is our movies.findIndex, and find the movie index whose ID matches the one that we're requesting. All right, so this will return the index number of the movie that we're requesting. So if we send the ID of Star Wars, it will return 1. The last thing we need to do here is splice. So we'll say movies.splice at the movie index, remove one item, and then send a message something like successfully deleted movie. All right, we can try this out. So let's go look at it. We'll do our get request to get some new IDs. We'll grab Friday the 13th here. We'll change our request type to delete, and we'll add the ID to the endpoint and send. All right, we got our message. So let's do a get request now. Try to see if our get one can find that movie. It can't, so let's get the whole collection and double check. And there we go. Friday the 13th is removed. Now, as soon as I type something into my server, of course, it will restart and that movie will be back. But this is around about the way that we will handle the logic just using Mongoose down the road. So implement this into your current assignment or exercise you're working with. Once you're ready, let's move on.